In northern Canada, a wealthy couple is accused of posing as motel workers to jump the line and get COVID vaccines. CNN's Paula Newton tells us who they are and how they managed to pull it off.
The alleged incident seems unthinkable in its deceit, and officials say residents are still shaken. Authorities in the Canadian territory of Yukon allege Rodney Baker, a former gaming executive, and his wife, Ekaterina, from Vancouver, chartered a plane to a tiny community shortly after arriving in the Yukon, and allegedly posing as local workers, received a vaccine they weren't entitled to.
I think there's a lot of people that are really upset. There's a lot of outrage here still that people would selfishly come to the Yukon and put our communities at risk.
It happened in the tiny outpost of Beaver Creek, close to the Alaskan border. Authorities say the couple flew to the city of Whitehorse in the Yukon earlier this month, and instead of isolating for 2 weeks, as they were legally required, they chartered a plane to Beaver Creek, where they allegedly knew a mobile clinic was setting up to vaccinate everyone who lived and worked there. Home to Indigenous communities, the Yukon is especially vulnerable to COVID-19 with few medical facilities. Canada has given Indigenous and Northern residents priority for vaccines, knowing lives are on the line.
They went to a small community, and that, I will tell you, Paula, that has sent a shock through our territory. I had 2 calls yesterday with all of the First Nation chiefs from across the Yukon discussing how we can be sure to keep everybody safe.
What has been so unnerving, say residents, is the fact that the Bakers broke quarantine, putting at risk thousands who have sacrificed so much to keep the virus from ravaging remote communities. CNN has reached out several times to the Bakers for comment and have not heard back. The Bakers were charged under the Civil Emergency Measures Act, not for getting the vaccine, but for breaking quarantine. Fines can reach $500 Canadian and up to 6 months in prison or both. The Bakers were each fined the maximum and a surcharge, and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police tell CNN they are still investigating. While the couple has not been fined for actually getting the vaccine, the Canadian minister in charge of the vaccination rollout in Indigenous communities says the Bakers should do more.
I'm disgusted. I understand these people are wealthy, and I won't tell them what to do with their money, but perhaps reparations are due of some level.
Officials in the Yukon say they have not received anything from the couple, not even an apology. Indigenous leaders there say they want harsher punishments in place to make sure this can't happen again.
Southwest Airlines has posted its first annual loss in nearly half a century. The last time Southwest reported a loss was roughly 48 years ago in 1972 when it was a startup flying Texas-only routes. For decades after, the company reported consecutive profitable years, while its largest rivals flew in and out of bankruptcy amid ups and downs in the industry. But Southwest's glide in the green came to an end today. The carrier is reporting that it lost a record $3.5 billion in 2020. Major airlines across the globe have been reporting losses due to the pandemic. With digital sales soaring, Chipotle is testing curbside pickup at 29 locations in California. It gives customers a way to get their tacos and burritos without having to go inside. Customers who order through the app will see a curbside pickup option before they check out. Once the order is confirmed, they're told that they can go to the restaurant, then click the I'm Here button, and a worker will bring the order out to their car. The company says if it goes well, it could start rolling out the service in other areas in a matter of weeks.
A high school matchup between North Dakota and Minnesota on the ice tonight. Beth is in next with more.